Hello and welcome. This video will cover how to play the card game Mini Golf. Mini Golf is mainly a solitaire game, but a variation will be explained later to play with multiple players. To play, you'll need a 52 card deck. Start by removing 3 out of the 4 kings from the deck. Shuffle the remaining 49 cards and create a card grid layout with 7 columns and 7 rows. The cards will be placed face up. A marker is placed on the single king, which represents the first tee box. I recommend using a dice as a marker. This will make scoring easier throughout the game play. The object of the game is to move your marker to the next hole location in as fewest moves as possible. The first hole is the ace of diamonds, then the 2 of diamonds, and continues up to the 9th hole being the 9 of diamonds. The back 9 starts with the ace of spades serving as the 10th hole and continues up to the 18th hole being the 9 of spades. Each hole will also serve as the next hole's tee box. Each hit of the ball is represented by moving the marker. The marker can move horizontally, vertically, or diagonally. The 2 cards on either side of the marker will determine how far the marker is moved. The 2 cards to consider when moving depends on the direction you want to move the marker. To move the marker horizontally, side to side, the 2 cards on top and bottom of the marker are used. To move vertically, the 2 cards on each side of the marker are used. To move diagonally, the 2 cards on the opposite diagonal are used to determine the movement. These 2 cards are used to move in these directions, and these 2 cards are used to move in these directions. The lower value card is subtracted from the higher value card to get a movement amount. Kings count for 13, queens for 12, jacks for 11, all numbered cards are face value, and the aces count for 1. Let's start this game to show some example moves. My marker is set on the king to start, and I will need to get it to the ace of diamonds to complete the first hole. If I wanted to move horizontally, I will look at the queen and 6 on the top and bottom of the king. A move can never be more than 5 cards. If the value is more than 5, you will subtract 5 or 10 from the value. 6 gets subtracted by 5 to get a value of 1. So the first option is to move horizontally 1 card. When moving vertically, the 2 cards on either side of the king are looked at. Since the king is on the edge of the layout, the second value is 0. 12 for the queen is subtracted by 0. This leaves a value of 12, which is then subtracted by 10 to get a movable value. So the next option is to move up or down 2 cards. To move in one diagonal direction, the 10 is subtracted by 0. The resulting value of 10 is then subtracted by 5 to get a movable value of 5 cards. But there are not 5 cards in the diagonal direction, so this move cannot be made. The final option is to move in the other diagonal direction. 3 is subtracted by 0 for a movable value of 3 cards. This is the option I decide to take for my first hit. For my next move, I decide to move vertically by looking at the cards on either side of the 7. 12 subtracted by 7 gives me 5, and I move up 5 cards. I also change the dice to show 2 as I now have taken 2 shots. Next I move diagonally down to the ace of hearts for my third shot. Then I move vertically up to the ace of diamonds to finish the hole with my fourth shot. I will mark down 4 on my scorecard for the first hole. I am now on the second hole and need to get to the 2 of diamonds. Par for each hole is 3 shots, giving you a goal of 54 shots to try and get close to for a round. I finished this round at 56, 2 over par. The stroke limit for a hole is 6. Once you have taken your 6th shot, move your marker to the hole location and start the next hole. If the cards being looked at are the same rank, you can choose any amount to move between 1 and 5. A game variation can be played where you can bounce off the edges of the layout. Moving horizontally or vertically, you will bounce back from where you came. Moving diagonally will bounce you 45 degrees. If playing this way, the par per hole is 2. The game can be played with multiple players. Players will write down the move they want to make. Then all players will show their intended move at the same time. You can put a timer on how long players have to come up with their move they will make. That wraps up how to play the mini golf card game. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and find more game tutorials by subscribing to the channel Gather Together Games. Thanks for watching.